I may cuss, but I don't curse. Let's get that situated first. What's going on, everybody? So we're going to be continuing the chakra videos right now, and we're going to be discussing the sacral chakra, which I determined to be the Mars chakra. So, with that being said, put the kids to bed. Bars, some nice. But for real, put some headphones on their head, you know what I'm saying? Distract them in some type of way, some type of educational, productive kind of way. You know what I mean? Just be sure, if you can't do that at this particular time, then save this video, put it in your, in your playlist, whatever you got to do, save it to watch it later. All right? Because this is the Mars chakra, there's going to be some sexual tones added to this. And although I kind of already know what I'm going to say, I don't know what I'm going to say sometimes as well. Y'all know how I could be sometimes. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So the Mars chakra, the sacral chakra, is responsible for creativity, sexuality, and abundance. It's probably other things, but I'm going to limit it to that so we don't get too carried away. And with that being said, there's also like a kind of contradiction when it comes to the abundant part, which I want to explain rather quickly. And that's because Mars is a malefic, right? It's a malefic planet. So it's looking to take. It's looking to take. And maybe a better word to explain that is it's looking to expend. All right. It's looking to expend energy. So how do you become abundant when you're primarily associated with expending energy? Mars is also responsible for creation, right? The generating of energy. You see how that goes? And you could look at it like this. I'd say to look at it like this. Now you can become abundant in harnessing the Mars energy, the sacral energy, which is around the belly button, by the way. And the way that you harness that is by cultivating it, by holding it in. Some people notice as semen retention. Some people just notice as harnessing your chi, right? But it's not only about semen retention. It's also about balancing your energy in some type of way. Concentrating with concentration, focus, and direction, right? Expending your energy on one particular thing or a few particular things that are productive to assist you in getting ahead, right? Maybe a head crown chakra, type shit. So you can see how you can become abundant as an individual based upon that harnessing of energy, because it is believed that the more work you put in for, whatever amount of time, that the universe has it, that God has it, then the more abundant you become, right? And abundant is a mixed bag. It's not just money. So, like I said, the things that you expend energy into are the things that you can become abundant in. And another way to envision this is to reproduce, right? So when you lower, let's say you go from the Mars chakra back down to the moon chakra, where the ball juice is, and you expend that energy into a womb and create, right? Rules over creation. You generate, you duplicate yourselves, then you become abundant in the family type of way as well. And it also is an act of expending energy, right? Taking away from your own bodies to give to a new body, right? So you see how Mars is still taking. However, tax time come around, y'all do what y'all do. Y'all put the kid on it. You understand what I'm saying? Abundance, right? At the same time, though, think about it. How much does it cost to have a child, right? Look that up. Do some research. Find that number. Look at how much that costs. And then think about that as well, because like I said, Mars takes. So it's important to understand these things about yourself so that you can better understand these things about the individual that you may choose to be in a partnership with. If you can get the eyes to observe these types of behaviors or factors in another person's life that you desire, it'll be beneficial for you, because at least you get like a head start. You know what I mean? You get at least the ability to assess what you're getting into. You know what I mean? So there's that, right? And it's like a gamble, which we're going to get more into when I express and explain the next chakra. But how can you be sure which will manifest, right? Which will manifest in abundance when it comes to whether you create a family unit or you channel all of that energy for the individual self. It's real emphasis put on that with this Mars chakra, because Mars rules over the individual, right? It rules over the self. So sexual energy, Mars also rules over as well. The Mars chakra rules over as well. So it's like if you hear sayings like the fire in the belly, right? The pit of the stomach, the fire in the belly. The acid in the stomach is what dissolves the food, right? Which makes it easier for the flow of nutrients and to go through the blood, and be possible for an erection, and increases the libido health and things of that nature, right? And inflammation, right? The word inflammation, when your stomach gets inflamed, that means you have consumed too much, to the point where it expands to where it gets, you can start having health issues and things of that nature. Then it seeps down to the moon chakra, where the nether regions are, the privacy areas are, and then you may end up having prostate issues and things of that nature. Men, please listen closely while I explain this, because I know there's strong advocates of semen retention, especially if you're watching this video. You probably heard about it at least, right? And I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. I am saying, what if you supplement, building your chi with excessive eating, mood foods? Because it's like, if you don't have the comfort of a partner there to, regularly exercise that part of your body, how does it get exercised? You understand what I'm saying? And this is like how the church has something to do with, basically, figuratively, should I say, cutting off the lower half of the body, because with this heaven and hell thing, so what do you do? You ignore the lower half of your body then? You understand what I'm saying? Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. You got all of these muscles and you just going to leave that area alone. Because, and I get it, right? For good reason. You want to concentrate on self. You want to focus on self. The last thing you worrying about is a chick or something like that. You know what I mean? You want to raise your chi and become the best individual you can. I'm a supporter of all of that. You understand what I'm talking about? However, I just can't fully advocate. I can't advocate for ignoring any parts of yourself, is what I'm saying, right? But to each his own. It does rule over sexual energy. This is where the fire and desire, right, builds up, and you might get eyes for someone, and the potential for a partner. Look, I want to say this as well, right? The potential, I might as well just crack the can open. Let's get into it. The potential to cheat on a partner or suffer from poor impulse control derives from this chakra as well. Now, I do want to make a note, though, that perhaps I'm jumping the gun a little bit by saying by cheating on a partner, because when we're at this level of frequency with the Mars chakra, it's still about the self, It's still about the self. Now, you may have connected with someone on the moon chakra level. We're going to get to that later if you did. But let's say you didn't. Let's say you skipped over that. Let's say you met up in a club, one night stand, this, that, and the third, right? Basically, you and the partner skipped over the moon chakra, so there's no real major concerns there, right? And I'm not saying whether that's good or bad either. You do what you want. But it's about impulse control. And you'll learn this the same way I've learned it. It's about poor impulse control when you run around and you're humping everything. See, and as a man, right? Younger years, adolescent years, it's like a trophy to go knock down as many broads as you can. You know what I'm saying? It's bravado. It's masculine. It's, I hit that. Eventually, depending on who you are, right? Eventually, you're going to be like, yo, I'm the hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the slut. Like, and you're gonna start understanding, like, well, maybe that was too easy. Mars, and this is where you're gonna start developing this, if you ever develop it. There's people who don't ever develop this logic. They keep going with what they've been doing, which is what I call playing your favorite video game, which is the game of life, on easy mode, to where it's easy to get these chicks, it's easy to fuck these broads. And at first it's like sport, it's like game, but then eventually Mars wants a challenge. And when there's no longer a challenge, you can self-destruct based upon that. It's just like, oh, this is easy. It's like having a trine in astrology in contrast to a square. When things become so easy for you, you start to take it for granted. So you don't really value the women that you're in bed with. Ladies, the same way you don't value the guys that you sleep with. You start having this ideology of all men like this. We start having ideologies, all women are like that. You get what I'm saying? And it's based upon that loop of playing the game of life on easy mode. You know? So think about that too when you're developing this chakra and you start desiring a partner, because it may just be based on flesh in the beginning when you're dealing with this chakra as well. Desire, oh, she bad. Yo, she, what? Shoot your shot, all that. It can happen that way. You know what I mean? However, when a partner presents a challenge to you, some guys run away. Women too run away from it. Like, oh, what? Why? Because you're used to easy mode. You're like, oh, no, right? Follow the path of least resistance. Or follow the path of least resistance is code for saying, I want to play my favorite game of life on easy mode. That's all. That's code for that. You know what I'm saying? You get faced with a challenge. You may say, oh, that chick is, she bougie, she high maintenance, or, she weird, or whatever. You'll make up excuses for yourself if you just want to continue playing the game of life on easy mode. I'm just keeping it a beam with you, B. Right? Sometimes when that chick presents a challenge to you, or that dude presents a challenge to you, you're like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Especially if you desire them and you like them like that, you want them, you're going to be like, you might ponder on that shit like, yo, do I got to do something different? Or should I do something different? You start reflecting this shit. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't have to personalize this, but I say this is the chakra where you do personalize it, because it's Mars and it's about the individual. However, it's like the universe, right? When you think you got a plan, God has laughs. Universe got a bigger plan. It's not as personal as the Mars planet is. And you may think that, oh, it's just the chick. The chick is a vessel, The dude is a vessel acting through the universe. Like, yo, look, chick, this is what we fucking doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got other shit to do. Yeah, you fucking high. You know you high. I know everybody tells you hot. The fuck? But we about to do some other shit. Or shorty might be telling you that. Like, yo, hold on. Like, what else? What do you do for a living? Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But poor impulse control can derive from this chakra as well. I must put that out there. Now, you could look at the menstrual cycle as a process, I can say, as a guide for the analogy that I'm producing right now. It's like how the red blood flushes out the toxins, right? The toxic eggs or whatever the case may be. I think it goes something like that. Something like that. You know what I mean? Don't flip on me because I'll be like sort of knowledgeable on this type of shit as well. You know what I'm saying? You can imagine the conversations that I have, they're just out of this world. But it's like it's kind of like a downward. I don't necessarily want to say devolve. I'm going to get to that a little bit later, but it could be looked at that way. It could be viewed as devolving if you lower your frequency from the Mars chakra to the Moon chakra and just expend your energy, right, for a toxic fling, right, the easy fling, the hood rat, or, whatever the case may be. And don't get me wrong, I don't fuck with a lot of hood chicks. You know what I'm saying? And I still fuck with a few hood chicks. On a just social level, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at them as like, oh, I can't fuck with you because you ratchet. You know what I mean? It ain't like that. Some people just have mannerisms that come from the ghetto, and it's just like they got 9 to 5s, been working for the last 20 years and all that. Like, what you gonna say about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so shit be having a mixed bag. I kind of digress, but what I mean is, if you just do something for instant gratification when it comes to your sexuality, then you can squander the ability to increase that frequency from Mars chakra to the sun chakra, which I'm going to be discussing next, which we are going to be discussing next. And you can be tested. You know what I'm saying? It's like a test to pass to see if you advance. It's like the game of life. Again, will you pass? Can you tell shorty, well, you know what? I appreciate the offer and all that. You looking good tonight and everything. I'm not gonna say I'm not attracted to you. However, I'm on a different frequency wave right now. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm focused on this. I'm practicing abstinence. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? She might laugh at you. She might call you a clown and all types of shit. She might make you the butt of her jokes. She might go call up her friends, everything afterwards. She might be a little bitter because she got rejected because you turned it down. She may not know how to handle that, Or the opposite could happen. She may show growth and might be like, yo, dude told me no. That don't usually happen to me, She might, you know what I mean? You might raise her frequency to now but it's game, baby. It's all a game. And it depends on how you play the game is how you're going to, because this chakra is about putting in input to later receive an output. How soon or how later, I don't know. I'd say to look at your ephemeris and check with your astrologer. You know what I mean? Type shit. But you're going to have a main desire a lot of times in life. And if you don't have someone that you mainly desire, you're going to have something in your life that you mainly desire. So if you got one without the other, I would say to use this as a test or for homework. You know what I'm saying? Aim to achieve that desire and see what type of distraction pops up in your life to where you say, you know what, I'm going to put my main desire down to address this, because this is also tempting as well. This is also desirable as well. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that you've squandered. Keep this in mind. Very important, because this is the Mars chakra. We're still dealing with the individual inner self. It doesn't mean that you forever have squandered your attention or your desire for that primary desire. You just communicated to the universe that you're not yet ready to raise your frequency to the next level, to the next chakra, to obtain that primary desire, So it takes longer for some other individuals to learn or to get their life lessons or to go through their loops. You understand what I'm saying? So be honest with yourself. And if the moment arrives, be honest with that person, that partner too. Even if it's your primary desire, be honest with them too, because I'm going to tell you this, and I learned this. You can't lie. You can lie to yourself and everything, but you still can't lie. There's nothing hidden from God. God knows everything. And a woman's intuition be, not only that, a man's intuition too. Like, intuition be on point, be. So they could feel it. I'm telling you, chicks could feel it. I got strong intuition, thankfully. Like, I'm blessed with that. I be feeling shit too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it don't make no sense to lie. Just keep it a bean. You know what I mean? Bars. But it's like, yo, if we on some bigger picture shit, getting to know each other, which is very important, right? To know is the crown chakra. So it's like, if we right here with it, like, let's just keep it a beam with each other right now. Like, we right here with it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even all the way here with it. Depending on how y'all vibing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might be on some top down reasoning shit. I don't want to digress, but I'm telling you, I learned this from practice. Trial, error, tribulations, all of that. But don't try to fool yourselves. Like, just knock it off. You know what I mean? But like I said, if the moment arrives, confess. But again, be mindful that a lack of discipline with this chakra energy can prevent or delay you from syncing with a desired prospect, which may be your primary prospect, or just it can prevent you or delay you from syncing with a desired prospect on a higher frequency, whichever desired partner it is. You understand what I'm saying? So be mindful of that. And be mindful also that at that point you carry the trait of someone who is risky. And when I say risky, I mean, like, if you think of your higher self, right, or your best version of yourself that actually benefits from being in a partnership with someone, realize that at that point you carry the traits of someone who will risk stepping out of the relationship for instant sexual gratification. And for those of you who think that that's not a risk, think again. When you become a union with someone and you start making deals and solidifying deals with someone, and the relationship thing gets intact and it becomes abundant, you mess around and squander your sexual energy with someone outside of that union, you're putting the union and the assets and everything included at risk. Especially when you're being sneaky about it and things of that nature. Now, look, different strokes for different folks, right? You might have some shit going on in your chart. You may be big pimping and all kind of crazy shit. Or you may have some type of understanding with your shorty that was like, yo, look, she like me. She know I'm with you. Yada, yada, yada. People got all types of shit going on. I'm doing my best not to judge. However, I must judge on this particular part. Think wisely before you go get instant gratification when you're in relationships. The same thing, and if you think I'm bullshitting, just, again, use an analogy with a partnership or a relationship that's outside of the sexual realm, right? You could think about work like that, right? If your boss, hypothetically, if your boss sees you post something wild on Facebook, they can call you in the office the next day and be like, yo, you said such and such and such and such and such and such. And you might think nothing of it, like, yeah, so what? Like, I could do what I want to do. Like, that's my public life. But you're a part of this association. You're a part of this company. You represent us, especially in a public arena. So you're going to go to social media. You couldn't have did that in your inbox. You had to go public on social media and say this with the globe icon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got the friends icon up or none. You did that with the globe icon word. Okay, hold my beer because I got something for you. 2-week notice. You don't even need to put that in. Like, you out of here. Look at it from that point of view, especially if you're not desiring a partner right now because you're working on your chi, you're building your frequency, you're working on yourself, you're building yourself up to be the best version of yourself that you possibly can. Don't think that partnering, you're still desiring a partner even when you sign the papers to go get a job, to go get employment. It's still 7th house shit. It's still relationship shit. Right? Because they are partnering with you because they want you to expend your Mars, your energy at their company, in their relationship. Right? So you compromise the company when you put yourself out there to do certain things. Are the people that on that globe icon, are they paying you anything? Think about this shit, yo. Some people go through their entire lives without thinking about this type of shit. And that's not funny. Better sex with this Mars chakra. Okay? Better sex. So it's like holding the fire inside of the belly, right? Will enable you to keep an erection. So like I said, the acid in the stomach is what burns the food down, what makes your, it helps with fasting and everything, breaking the food chemicals or the food substances down so you don't have a full stomach, a bloated belly, a bloated, what do you call it, prostate and all that. You know what I'm saying? Healthy prostate. So it makes the erection stronger when you're able to hold and harness the energy at that chakra level. Now, releasing it releases the energy down back into the root chakra. Of course, we know ball juice everywhere, everything explodes. And, and really, you ever ask yourself why women like damn near beg you to come if you haven't came? Think about that. Why is that? The moon is the more feminine chakra, right? So if you up here at the more masculine, at the next chakra level, which is masculine, and you doing your thing with shorty and you doing it to the point where you don't want to nut because you'll be the butt of her jokes again for some next shit. She'll be telling her friends about that. Yo, it's 2 minutes. He was out of here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my shit is good. And then, you know what I mean? Next thing you know what I mean? Your dick pic circulating in the motherfucking group chat and shit like that. On soft though, you know what I mean? Look what I did, type shit. And, ask yourself this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but you got to keep in mind, as a man, of course I'm speaking to men right now, but ladies, you could soak up game from this. As a man, you got to think about it, right? It takes longer for a woman to orgasm. She knows this, but she's begging you to come. She wants you to come. It's like, nah, it ain't over. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is really should probably be discussed more along the lines when I get to the heart chakra. when it get to the love chakra, because with the Mars chakra, like you could dig a broad back out, right, and she won't come, she won't orgasm. You might hurt her shit, you know what I'm saying? She might be sore for a week or two, but you'll be the butt of her jokes again, maybe on a low, you know what I mean? She might be like, yo, he wrecked my shit, but I had to finish myself off. You understand what I'm saying? And if you hear some shit like that, it might crush you, it might break your fucking heart. But the reality is, you was just going for self, which is expected when you're dealing with the Mars chakra, because it's about the individual. You know what I'm saying? But it takes two to tango, and when you are aware that it takes longer for a woman to orgasm, then you do whatever in your power to harness that chi to make sure that that happens. And for those of the semen retention guy, I call this semen retention 2.0 when you're doing it like this. And then you just be like, no, man, you know, it's all good. You know what I mean? I got an exam in the morning, you know, or I got a conference in the morning. So I'm trying to stay, you know. She still might beg you, no, release, baby, put it on my tits, put it on my ass. Nah, no. How about no? Calm your tits, no. You know what I mean? She might telling you, she might be like, yo, this nigga is something else. But anyway, we don't beg them to come, do we? Well, it depends on what frequency you're at. You know what I'm saying? But if you were to do that, you're definitely going to be on a higher frequency. At the Mars frequency, you're not going to give a fuck. It's about you getting your nut off. You're not going to care. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, you know. But this is also a good factor to piggyback off of saying that, is that don't be disillusioned. This is a solo energy. And I mean this for men and women. All right? Men and women. This is the known versus the unknown type of tug of war chakra. And I say that because, again, I mentioned earlier, I said I'd get to this, right? The crown chakra is, I know, we know. And this is why I said I associate the crown chakra with Uranus, because we get, as an astrologer, this is probably why I confide in this theory most, because Aquarius rules over astrology. And I get majority of my data from astrology. I'm able to read the signs. I'm able to interpret the signs, thankfully. You know, it's a blessing. So up here is to know. So this is the top frequency. This is the top chakra. You raise your chakra up here, you get to know one another, right? The moon represents what? The unknown, the mystery. So do you get to know the person, the partner that you're desiring when you're dealing with this chakra, or you rather keep it unknown? You don't want to connect with them. You don't want to know anything about them. What if you release that, expend that energy, that ball juice inside of her, duplicate yourself, no connection or not a strong enough connection, you didn't really get to know that person, and then the next thing you know, you got family, domestic, spousal, all kinds of issues that derive from that, and you was on a solo mission from the beginning, right? So I would say skip the connection part if you don't plan to build something with another person. You know what I mean? But y'all should be protected. Y'all should be harnessing that ball juice. Don't let it go, bro. Bars, don't let it go though. You know? Because it can also, let's say you get the connection with the moon chakra, it could make a heartbreak much more worse. You know, because once y'all get the leg locking and binge watching and telling each other you're not going nowhere and all that, which could be a beautiful thing, you know. You know, tell them you with your bitch right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you'll talk to them tomorrow type shit. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Like, that shit could be cute. That shit could be fun. You know what I'm saying? My point there is the moon chakra ain't all bad, and not for nothing, you know, everybody wants to feel wanted, and if you don't, there might be some childhood issues there, you know what I mean? To where maybe you weren't able to be or able to feel that as a child. Maybe you had to like escape and like go run the streets in order to get that type of attention. You know, all types of stuff. I don't want to digress from the message here though, but you know, the bonding of the moon it's a serious door that you open, is my point. And it's a serious door that you open, and it like I said, it could be a beautiful thing, but not if you're not willing to harness this Mars chakra accordingly. All right? And because like I said, people want to feel wanted, and especially when it comes to the moon chakra. So if you're going to, I'd say download. I don't want to call it devolve or decrease just as of yet, but if you want to download, be mindful of this. And I must stress, get to know the person. And I want to take this time out right here to say first, send my condolences to the murder-suicide victims in North Carolina. By the time this video is published, you could probably still Google it and it'll probably pop up somewhere, the article. I just seen this article not too long ago, and it was devastating, man. And I also want to take the time to just send my condolences to all families and people who have lost someone, or people who have suffered from domestic violence and, murder, suicides and things of that nature. Is devastating, but that's what I mean by this whole devolve or downgrade. Probably wrong word again. Download, excuse me. When you duplicate yourself, it could be abundant, right? Oh, you got kids now, you got family and this, that, and the third. But if you're ever in a situation where you feel that your anger and frustration, Mars chakra, has reached the point to where you're about to perhaps crash out, become violent, take it out on a third party who, based on some type of infidelity or something like that, ask yourself, is this real? And I'm not saying to the point where you say, oh, this is not real, this is a simulation. So you go do that whole murder-suicide type shit. Or you go climb to the roof and say, you know what, I'm done with this shit ain't real anyway, and you jump. Oh, I'm going to wake up in another dimension or something like that. I'm not saying to go do that either. I'm saying that feelings are fleeting. The moon chakra is fleeting. This too shall pass. Right? So you may walk in and see the worst thing that you didn't ever want to see or ever think that you would see. You may feel very betrayed in that very moment, whatever the situation is. Right? Ask yourself if it's real, because it could be a two-way street. When I say that, is it a simulation? If it's really a simulation, you know what? This feeling is going to pass. You ever been through a breakup before that? Oh, you know what? I got over shorty before. I thought it was the end of the world then. Got over the heartbreak. I was brand new. I'm still a man. I'm still that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Walk out, Or you can say, is this real? Look at them children. Look at them babies. This is the closest to reality I'm going to get in this life from my experience so far. So you know what? Although I feel this way in this very moment, those are the realest things that I have in my life or that I've experienced in my life. They came from me. They came from her. So you know what? I'm going to step away. But look, that's when you're dealing with the love chakra, which is up here with the heart. So you got to be able to raise your frequency. You got to be able to tell yourself and know whether you even love the partner that you desired from the giddy up. Because you can't love, or it's entirely too challenging to love your partner that you desire when you're still operating in these two frequencies alone. This chakra system is a whole system. It's a whole system. You understand what I'm saying? So if you just operating with Moon and Mars, attachment, toxicity, jealousy, rage, envy, insecure, right? No bueno. So I just wanted to insert that there. You know what I mean? Because look, my theory is like this too, and people may disagree with this, and it's okay. We could get in the comment section. We could extend the situation even further, the conversation further, and it may have something to do with the change of the times as well. But my theory is, people with kids in prior relationships are better to get into relationships with. Versus the manosphere logic, which I've heard a lot of, that says, oh, they got a kid, there's no fucking way. You're going to take care of another man's kid, you're going to take care of that. And they go off, right? I understand where they're coming from. A man wants his own empire and own lineage and own everything. But it goes back to my logic of the known and the unknown. You can be with someone that you swore you known, or you just felt comfortable around. Maybe you didn't want to do the research because it just felt good. You finally felt something that you were connected to. This is the closest thing you ever came to connection with someone else, right? But you may be in your 20s, your early 20s. What do you really know about the game of life at that point? You get where I'm going? So if you don't know that person, right? How do you know how they're going to be with children? They don't have any. How do you know how that person is going to be with relationships if they don't have any, or they only had one, right? Maybe they never been married. Maybe they have. Maybe they've been in several relationships that lasted 3 years here, 2 years here, 4 years here, 5 years here. But at least they got a track record, right? You can ask them about it. You could spy on their Facebook, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Talk to their mama, whatever you got to do. But that experience gives you more to build on when it comes to seeking a partner, if you ask me, you know, because you get to know the person. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if y'all take it to the extent to where y'all got each other's natal charts and shit like that, y'all having conversations about shit like that, even better, because now that's top-down reasoning. You like, oh, or maybe, you know, I don't know what order it went in. Maybe it went in reversal. I don't know what ascending order, descending order. I don't know, you know. But like I said, this system is a relationship. It's a whole system, you know. So when you get to know a person, you have a better understanding of how to deal with the lower rung, especially the moon chakra, because look, like I said, it can be a download, it could be a devolve, a decrease. What happens when you with your babe, right? And it's just been y'all two for as long as you can remember, and then the baby comes, right? Honeymoon period could be over, because now that baby is getting the attention that y'all usually would share or normally would share with each other, right? Oh, you popping another ones too? Oh, it's 3 kids now? Now you wondering why you don't get as much sex as before. Since we're talking about the Mars chakra, well, why do you think? The energy has been expended. Mars takes. So it took the attention and the desire away from you to be to the woman or the man desiring to be with their kid, or the man desiring, oh, I just want to work to make sure my kids is all right. And then the chick is like, well, all I do is watch the kids while you at work. Well, this is what we got to do. And then you wonder why these things are happening, right? And this is why I said I think it's beneficial to know how somebody is with children. Even the people who have grown children is like, well, okay, well, I know the children is grown, so I don't got to worry about them like saying they can't do this because they need money for Pampers and college and this, that, and the third. Like, their kids are grown, you know? So it's just us. And if we choose to have more kids, then so be it, you know what I mean? But we have the experience of having them. So you understand what I'm saying? Like, get in the comment section if you think I got twisted logic or whatever the case may be. I'd love to hear your take on that as well. Or am I tripping? You know what I mean? What else? But don't be a victim to the lower rungs of the body. And I know, again, that's why religions have made that distinction between heaven and hell, because they were aware of the lunacy or the erratic behavior, the vicious and violent behaviors that derive from people who don't know how to raise the frequencies to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? And therefore they would say things like, oh, they're possessed, right? They got them demons in them. They got them spirits in them. Because how could you just slaughter somebody? How could you drown a kid? How could you understand what I'm saying? Type shit. Now, I also want to say this about your desired partner when it comes to this chakra, right? I mentioned it earlier, but I just want to double back on it. Like, there's a difference between a woman who just likes you and a woman who is going to choose you, and vice versa with the genders. Men, y'all take that and flip it how you need to flip it. You know what? I'll make a video separate from this to describe that, to detail that. And I want to, I guess, leave with this. If you're horny, exercise. Because, or do something, you know, yoga or something, get the mats out, fuck it. Let's get the mats out for both of us. You know what I mean? His and hers, whatever the case. Look, if you're horny, exercise, do yoga or something. Do something with your body. You know what I mean? Abstinence can be a great thing. Abstinence from a partner or another partner, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself for prostate reasons. And, this is just my theory. You don't have to follow. I'm just saying, I made my description earlier about how the sacral chakra deals with the stomach and the acid, burning the flame. Don't be inflamed or supplement loneliness with consumption of a lot of foods. And next thing you know, you're obese, you're overweight, you're unhealthy because of that, So exercise, do something with your body, because that energy will get raised. The frequency will raise. And it'll be channeled. It'll be harnessed in a correct way. Mars rules over action, activity. You understand what I'm saying? Being a soldier, working on yourself. First house rules over the body, the shell. So when you're horny and you don't got no one around and you don't want to make the wrong, incorrect decision and call up your ex or some wild shit, exercise. And yeah, the abstinence thing I think is good, because there's stories of people who have practiced abstinence, and later on the person that was more aligned for them came into their life, and it was beneficial and it made sense. And this is really what this whole video is about. It's to, whether you're going to squander it or download, devolve, digress, or or become abundant in a family unit. You're either going to do that, or you're going to increase the frequency and become abundant by doing the work on yourself and harnessing that energy to attract the primary desire of your life, right? Now, me personally, right? This is me personally. I'm not saying that this is what you should do. I feel like if you're not doing porn, or you're not married, or you're not doing research sex, like, oh, let me see how big your nipples get on a Tuesday when Mars is in Cancer, and you know what I mean? But see, I'm a weirdo, so but if you're not doing shit like that, like, I don't even see the reason to be having sex. Like, I don't see, what do they call it, casual sex? And again, it's probably because I'm at the frequency to where if I don't see the need or the cause, or you know what I'm saying, the bigger picture in it, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'll survive, I'll make it. You know what I mean? Because I'm raising the frequency. You know what I mean? And keep this in mind as well, because I've seen a lot of husbands, or videos of husbands or divorced husbands who, they talk about how they got tricked into marriage, and as I described about having the children, then all the attention went to the children. They wasn't getting sex anymore, and it was all about calling their girlfriends and this, that, and the third. And, after the honeymoon phase was over, and this is what I want to say about that type of situation, is that, because it ties to this Mars chakra, is that don't stop developing yourself. Because I can guarantee you that if something like that happens in the household, and then the next thing you know, you're in the gym, you got a sharp haircut every week. You know how it is. You get a shape up. Your chick be like, "Where you going? Or where you think you going, slut?" You know what I mean? Or you in the gym, you come back all buffed and all that every day. Like, yo, what's going on in the gym? What? I'm working out. Oh, you working out? You know what I mean? If one of the partners let themselves go, bet believe then they going to get on their A game like they was when they first met up, or they going to suffer the consequence of that, which is honeymoon phase being over, right? Well, because you got to understand this. The Mars chakra is still the Mars chakra. When you harness it and you build to become abundant as an individual, it's still an individual flex. So there's going to be people who are attracted to you and who desire you as well. This is even for people who are in marriages and stuff like that. Y'all notice, like, it ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? And then that's where the impulse control comes in, because it's like, yo, it be like, nah, I'm taken. You know what I'm saying? I'm claimed. I'm spoken for, or whatever the term is. You know what I mean? Or I only do. I got business arrangements. I don't do the casual sex. I like chill. You understand what I'm saying? When you got those types of filters set up, you understand why. because your chi be up here and they be like, they be on you. It's something that you could feel. It's almost invisible. That's where the law of attraction comes from. It's magnetism. You understand what I'm saying? And vice versa. The girl I had that too. You know what I mean? She was fine as fuck when you met her. If you think you gonna fall back because you got some bread and then your stomach get out the hand, then you know you stop shaving and then everything starts falling apart, and then eventually you be like, yo, you mad comfortable, B. Y'all might not discuss it, but now there's work husbands and work wifeys and all this, that, and the third, and yeah. So don't forget that this is the individual chakra, and you should want to see your partner be the best that they could potentially be, because that's why you desire them. Right now, I'm not talking to you fraudsters and you tricksters out there who, you know, you want chicks for other reasons, which I would say is to, like, not to take advantage, because I don't think taking advantage is a bad thing, but to deceive, to just do dirty. You know what I'm saying? I know people who do shit like that, men and women. I'm not talking to y'all. This video, I'm not saying y'all can't learn nothing from this video. However, like I said, if you want to play the game of life on easy mode, this video is probably going to frustrate you. And with that being said, till next time, I'm out of here. Till next time, I'm out.